Good evening, Carol and John Choppers. We are late, and it's my fault because I was reading. Andrew's here, John Shear's here, Kyle's behind the camera. Welcome to Tuesday night, and this full table of new comics, except for that little sliver that separates the all-ages stuff from the stuff that's not. I'm Ben. I'm here to sell you comic books, and I'm happy about that. I was reading a lot of stuff. There's a lot of great stuff this week. We've got a couple of things upcoming. The one big one I'm going to or the only big one I'm going to mention, whatever. Next Thursday, the 18th, is Late Night Comics, and it's a freaking doozy. I've been yapping about all the collections we've been picking up over the past couple months, and it comes to fruition starting next Thursday with a ton of new dollar stock, including John Shear spent most of the weekend going through like 20 long boxes of all the small press that we pulled out. So there is a lot of pre-90s indie comics amongst a lot of new Marvel, a lot of new DC. I mean, like, the collections we bought were from all over the place, modern, old. And if you don't know where our dollar stock comes from, it comes from the excess. And as you can see, we already have a ton of back issues, which is great. We fill in those gaps, and anything that we already have in there in quantity gets put into excess for you for $1, so we don't have to carry it anymore. So that's Thursday the 18th, next Thursday, and we're jazzed about it. It's going to be a real, I'm going to quote John in saying, this will be the one to show up to. Right? I've heard him say it. After that, not the weekend after, but the second weekend after that, the end of the July month, we are having our Not at Comic-Con sale, which will be a weekend-long sale of dollar books like we do every year while San Diego Comic-Con is going on. So there will be continually added new stuff to that from the collections that we bought, and that's going to be a doozy too. So it's going to be a month of dollar books. Right?
Yes, indeed.
We are jazzed. We're excited. I'm going to get to first appearances so we can get to the table. Oh, we should mention we've been getting all kinds of really fun news about the Superman movie filming downtown. A lot of people have been stopping by the set, taking cool pictures, filling us in on costumes, what kind of characters are showing up, what kind of set dressings. It's all very cool to hear about because we can't really make it down there, and we pretty much live the life here, so we get to listen to you guys. But because of it and because of all the buzz, we had, surprise, surprise, a lot of extra 90s Superman lying around, or just Superman in general, super family books. So feel free to stop in and pick up 2 free Superman books just to celebrate the Man of Steel being filmed in the heart of his birthplace. Yeah, no one can hear you. You don't have a mic.
I know. So you can hear it, and then you can say it.
Yeah, I picked out one where Superman's fighting Aquaman and losing. Okay, we have a new X-Men book this week. The new era of X-Men is starting with X-Men #1. So X-Men #1 is the first appearance of, I should have done this one last. I should have built up to it. A character named Paula Robbins. She is the police chief in the new town the X-Men have moved into. Maybe the next Miles Morales. Who knows? No one expected anything from him in his small first appearance either.
Maybe.
Stop.
Maybe.
Star Wars Ahsoka starts this week. It is a adaptation of the show, which is cool and well received. So this is the first appearance of 2 characters that first appeared in that show. I believe it was like the Dark Jedi / Inquisitor people. Balin something. Star Wars names. We got Kid Venom #1 is the first appearance of the Samurai Corps and its leader. And then Annihilation 2099 #2 is the first appearance of Star-Lord 2099. Right there. I know you want these so you can put them back. Here you go.
Oh, thanks.
Well, we'll go on down here to the bottom of the table. I didn't even need my cheat sheet. I remember. A little weird to start on this side with Image, but we've got a good amount of Image reprints this week, starting with Duke #3 reprinted. Great cover. Cobra Commander #1 reprinted. Go ahead and pause your video. Take a close look at the creepy face of this. Next to it, we've got 2 copies of the 7th printing of Transformers #1, which is awesome. We ordered a lot more than this, but news to come on how we're going to use those, so stay tuned. The black and white cover of Transformers #1 7th printing, and the right side of the connecting cover to be connected to Void Rivals #1, the 7th printing, which is where the Energon universe at Image began a little more than a year ago. Super, super exciting. Speaking of Transformers, number 10 came out this week with a Daniel Warren Johnson cover A, cover B with Cliff Jumper, cover C, 1 in 25 variant, and a 1 in 50 variant. I think that's the first time I very, very fluidly named the Transformer on the cover.
I think it is absolutely. I was going to say something, and I was like, nope.
It's because
yeah.
I've never had a favorite Transformer, but now that my fandom is churning up with this, I think it's Cliff Jumper. I really like this issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of issues I really like, Ice Cream Man number 40 came out this week. If you took our recommendation on the first part of this story in issue number 39, which was easily Eisner nomination worthy, fantastic. We have a copy here. It is about a car crash, to put it very simply and to sell it a little short. And that's part 1. That has to do with one car in the car crash, and this is part 2. It is beautiful and fantastic, a fantastic 2-part. Like, just touching in every way. And there's cover B for that issue. Also creepy and great. Spawn Monolith is wrapping up their miniseries with issue number 3. We got cover A right there and a blank cover B. Oh, there, Geiger. Moon Man from Kid Cudi is on issue number 3. There's your cover A. Jim Mafu did an awesome cover B. And then we got cover C. Above that, a new image number 1 this week from Chip Zdarsky. It is the story about 3 friends who explore an alien superpower that they find, but only one of them can use the superpower at a time. So it's a little bit of like, it's a little political languagey with how do we share this thing, but it's also a superpower book. So there's cover A, written by Chip Zdarsky, worth mentioning. Cover A and cover B with stats. Mm-hmm. Kyle's excited. I heard him making noises when he pulled it out of the box. Then we've got Geiger on issue number 4, which is absolutely next on my reading stack because issue number 3 was so fantastic, with a spiffy, shiny, fantastic foil variant. It's a 1 in 50, too. Ain't No Graves on number 3. That might actually be next on my reading stack. Ain't No Grave on number 3, one of our most recommended books of this past couple months. And then Spawn Scorched Volume 4 in paperback. Above that, we've got I Hate Fairyland, the complete compendium.
The whole fluff and tail.
The whole fluff and tail. So this includes everything.
No, it's all volume 1.
All of before
all
they
volume
restarted it a little
yes.
while ago. And then Kill Your Darlings, the complete miniseries in paperback. Energon Universe coming right back up at the top of the image part of the table with Cobra Commander Volume 1. I don't know which is which. Oh, yeah. This is the direct market exclusive variant, so that means you can only get this cover in comic shops like ours. And then this is your regular retail variant. But the big thing on Image this week, as far as collected editions or really anything else, Space Mullet is an original contained graphic novel by Daniel Warren Johnson. It came out many years ago, some of his very early work, but because he's killing it with Transformers and all of his other happenings in the small press arena, they reprinted it at Image, and it's wonderful. It's pretty much Daniel Warren Johnson's vibe applied to Cowboy Bebop. There are 2 guys who are ex-military, or one guy who's ex-military and his partner. That life is behind them, and they're just trying to make their way in the universe, and they get into all kinds of zany trouble. It's action-packed. It's got a lot of slice-of-life stuff in it. It's 2-tone, so it's blue and black all the way through. It's very stylized. It looks great. I cannot wait to finish it. I read through half of it today, and it's an easy, fun read. Really, really awesome. Any fan of Daniel Warren Johnson stuff in the past few years will absolutely love this. I'm so looking forward to it. What we got above that? Reprints from Marvel. Now we have 2 collected editions. Let's start with those. Epic Collection, Amazing Spider-Man. It's a new printing of the Return of the Sinister Six Epic Collection. And you got the complete miniseries of Dark X-Men from the beginning of this year. Then we've got X-Men 97 number 2 with probably my favorite reprint cover ever. Good old VHS collection. And number 3 also reprinted there with the classic characters. Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider reprints number 1 in a second printing. We do have first printings if you're interested in reading that series and didn't know that it came out already. And then a pretty fantastic stack of Doom, the one-shot that came out last month that swept across the nation. A fantastic end of the world Doom story with great artwork from Sanford Green. Pretty much the one-shot of the year so far.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Great Doom story. If you missed it, which is probably pretty easy to do because everywhere sold out, please grab our reprint. Above that, we've got Midnight Suns Blood Hunt reprinted with a blood red cover. We've also got Black Panther Blood Hunt reprinted with a blood red cover. And then we're into new stuff. Ahsoka, aforementioned, started their miniseries to cover the adaptation of the show. So there's your cover A. Here's your cover B. Here's your cover C. And we got a spiffy, shiny foil variant also. And we got a new issue in the Ultimates realm of the Ultimates. It's issue number 2. And the gang's back together, and they're taking back America. What can I say? There's a good hook at the ending, too. They're getting another team member. There's your cover A. There's your cover B. There's your cover C. And we've got 1/25 variants, too, to go along with America. It's a 4th of July issue, too, which is kind of fun. Spider-Boy's on issue number 9. I don't have a lot more to say. There's some duck stuff.
Yeah, there's duck stuff.
That's cover A. Here's cover B, your Deadpool variant. And then cover C. Amazing Spider-Man had a doozy of an issue. We're still in the middle of the story arc, but things are progressing horribly with the Green Goblin. Or greatly.
Or, yeah.
We don't know yet. There's a great J. Jonah St. Jameson line. There's not much more you need to know. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B, the Alien variant. We got 1/25 featuring a lot of new Spider-Men. And then 1/50 by Delato.
Yep.
Yeah. And the last, what you're 1/50.
My 1/100.
John Shear has a ratio variant from several years ago by Gabriel Delato that for some reason was just horrifyingly underprinted. And boy, that thing's a gem now. It's a grail,
yeah.
isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-mm. So I'll tell you where he keeps it. Just make me an offer. Symbiote Spider-Man wraps up by Peter David. Symbiote Spider-Man 2099 wraps up with issue number 5. We've got X-Men Heir to Apocalypse in the middle of their miniseries with number 3. And then a row of number 1s. Kid Venom number 1 is essentially Venom for a manga fan. It takes place in feudal Japan, right? So you've got samurai, you've got Oni, which is what they call symbiotes in this world. So it's cool. It's a fun read. It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like as far as manga style Venom. They just made him a kid. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B, the homage cover. Cover C. Cover D with the negative space. And then Spiffy Shiny. And a 1/25 variant. Oh, I think we were supposed to pull that for somebody, unless I wrote them down already. Ghost Rider, Final Vengeance is on issue number 5. And for the life of me, I can't figure out if it's the last issue or not because I didn't finish it. Because then we would have been doing this video at 9:30. There's your cover A. Cover B with the Deadpool variant. Cover C. And then the 3rd issue of Get Fury. Who read it?
I read it.
Is it gruesome?
Yes.
Okay.
And there we go.
There it is. One reprint of the week. I'll hold it up because I have to. Deadpool is going to continue to have reprints come out in facsimile editions because there's a movie. This is the first ongoing series for Deadpool written by Joe Kelly. It's a wonderful first issue that absolutely introduces you to the character with a nuclear reactor scened.
Themed?
No.
Oh.
Setting of a fight with Sasquatch, which is awesome because Sasquatch is smart and big.
And Canadian.
And they're in Canada.
Yeah.
Great issue, really fun. If you've never read Deadpool before, pick one up. Or pick up the Spiffy Shiny variant.
Ooh.
Middle of the table brings us back to Daredevil number 11 with a fantastic Ramita cover, all bullseye issue. We got a Deadpool variant for cover B, and then we're on to a Blood Hunt tie-in with Avengers number 16. Baron Blood has never looked cooler. That's cover A. Deadpool variant on the Stormbreakers cover B. Deadpool variant on the cover C. And then Annihilation 2099. Previously mentioned first appearance of that Star-Lord 2099. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B with the frame variant. We have more coming in. We were shorted them, but they had a release of giant-sized Silver Surfer this week. It is an original Silver Surfer versus Terrax story. It's what all the kids want. And it reprints Silver Surfer number 80 from back in the day. Next to it, more Blood Hunt tie-ins with Union Jack the Ripper number 3. It's the wrap-up of this miniseries, and it is a freaking doozy. This is probably my favorite of the miniseries for Blood Hunt, hands down. Nice self-contained story, a lot of vampire action, super cool. Parental advisory, absolutely warranted. And then cover B with a decapitation. One shot for Blood Hunt Hulk is a fantastic Blood Hunt tie-in and just a plain old fantastic Hulk versus vampire story. Bruce Banner's still a hobo, and he gets hoboologist, and he gets suckered into a vampire nest, and Hulk does what Hulk does, and it is the transformation into Hulk is awesome. The vampire fight's awesome. The setup's awesome. Perfect Hulk one shot. Takes place in the desert. There's a Blood Hunt Hulk cover A, cover B, which is kind of an homage.
Absolutely.
And then 1/25. One last thing before we get to X-Men. Moon Knight Fist of Khonshu #0 was some kind of stunt with Marvel and some ordering system. You can look it up, Google it if you want to. Essentially, we couldn't order these beforehand. They released them and then made them orderable for us. So you did not see this on video last week, even though it was out there. It is a perfect primer following the events of Blood Hunt, without giving too much away, to the new status quo of Moon Knight and his allies and associates and enemies in the world now, as narrated by Khonshu, which is awesome because he has a very pretentious way of speaking about the people that that worship him. But really great Moon Knight primer, a must get for upcoming Moon Knight stuff.
I love the fact that you called him pretentious because he absolutely
That's
is.
exactly what it is.
That he absolutely is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then we're at the top of the table with X-Men #1. It was a wonderful, I'll go ahead and do it again. It was a wonderful beginning of an X-Men status quo. Like I said before, everything that happened with Krakoa has happened and it is over and it has affected them. But we are on fresh creative teams who are going in fresh directions with the book. I love the artwork of Ryan Stegman throughout this book. It's really action forward. But you've got a split story between that Paula Robbins getting a tour of the new X facility by Beast, who's very sensible, and then this wild field team going after New Mutants and New Mutant haters, and it's a great back and forth, and it really shows you what's going on in the X world. I'm looking more forward to Gail Simone's Uncanny X-Men in a couple weeks, so more news on that when it happens. You got anything to add about this one?
I liked it.
I liked it a lot.
Good. Yeah.
Juggernaut on the team works for me. A lot of psychic action going on.
Yes.
So there's your cover A by Stegman. We got cover B with Psylocke and J. Scott Campbell.
Yep.
Cover C with negative space variant. Scotty Young on cover D. Logo variant on cover E. Cover F here in the center. Cover G with the wraparound characters. And then a blank variant. And a 1 in 25 with that happy looking new design for Beast and his very dark eyes.
He does have dark eyes. Yeah.
It's just a design
A lot of
choice.
eyeshadow.
Yeah, it's just a design.
So then we get to DC. And the big one on the DC top of the table is I'm just going to call it what it is. It's a what if. Death in the Family, Robin Lives, taking place after Joker kills Robin. Well, he didn't. And Jason Todd is an angry young man recovering from being nearly beaten to death with a crowbar. And it's got a great shocker of a beginning and 4 issues. We've got to find out how we got there. But it's a wonderful story harkening back to the time when Jason Todd was almost beaten to death by Joker and what Batman's doing about it. Got regular cover there.
I will say this because I have a loud mouth and I can't keep it shut. Andrea and I are not familiar with this era of DC in any way, shape, or form. We understand that it exists and what happened, but we read this because we do our due diligence and we read the things that we aren't necessarily interested in, and it was a wonderful read. It is one of the best narrated comics I've read in a long time. It really doesn't spoon feed you the story. It doesn't treat you like you're stupid, like you haven't read it, and like you haven't read the previous. But it almost treats the situation like a what if in a really cohesive way. It's a very good beginning of a miniseries. I was very surprised. I liked it. I thought they were just going to phone it in. They did not.
Yeah, I'm actually a little sad that it's only going to be 4 issues, but we'll see what happens. You got your regular cover there, and then your awesome Mike Mignola variant for that one, cover B there. Green Lantern's on issue number 13. It's an Absolute Power tie-in. There's a backup story, but it's all about the main story, which is Amanda's got Hal Jordan tied up, and King Shark is beating him for information, and it's great.
While we're mentioning it, there is another Absolute Power book that came out this week, but we have a lot of last-minute pre-orders for it. It was Absolute Power Task Force 7. It's a tie-in issue to the main series. If you are looking for that and it wasn't already on your pull list, let us know because we ordered more.
And there we go. So cover A for Green Lantern, cover B, Jose Garcia Lopez, cover C, and then your 1 in 25 variant for that one there. Batman Echoes number 3, Batman 89 Echoes number 3. After about 3 months, finally, we got your awesome cover A, and then your 1 in 25 variant for that one there. Batman Gotham by Gaslight, Kryptonian Age, still good. Still a very good Elseworld story. I'm very happy with that. Great art, great story. Issue number 2, your regular cover, and then your 1 in 25 variant for that there. Outsiders, issue number 9. It's wrapping up. I'm sad, but Planetary, issue number 9, still good. But I forgot, and Bane's there, and he's like, this is my land. And this is the first time Damian has seen Bane since what Bane did back during.
Oh,
Yes.
really?
Yes.
That's cool.
He blink.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah. See, there we go. So yeah, Batman Robin issue 11, Bane, dinosaurs, Angry Damian, everything you want from a Batman book. Really good artwork too. Cover A, 1 in 25 because aforementioned dinosaurs. Primer, Clashing Colors. So Primer was initially a graphic novel that they collected after that into issues because they decided to do it backwards. This is the sequel to that, and it's good. Like first Primer graphic novel was great. Didn't need to put it into issues, but I guess more people are going to read it that way. Yeah. Tales of the Teen Titans, issue 44 is your facsimile of the week. It is when Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing. Ta-da! Get it for cheap because otherwise it's super expensive. Flash Strange Tractor, it's volume 1, starts off the new run of the Flash series, issues 1 through 6. But below that, Gail Simone is now writing Action Comics. It's Action 1067. She's doing the main story. Superman fighting a bunch of aliens, whatever you like, perfect, everything you want. The backup story by Rainbow Rowell, who's writing She-Hulk, is a very good. Lois Lane is editor-in-chief of the Daily Planet, and she is finally figuring out how to do her job in the best way possible. Really good character-driven backup story. But a great chance to jump into Superman without any prehistory of what's been going on. So you got your cover A there, your awesome Wes Craig cover B, and then your 1 in 25 variant for that there. We got it back in. Absolute Power Ground Zero. Get started. Find out what's going on with Absolute Power. Other collections, Batman Robin Adventures Omnibus, $75 get you a whole lot of Batman Robin Adventures, best way possible. And then $30 gets you the entire 7-issue miniseries of Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. A great read, $30, can't beat it. I like that book.
We ordered 3 more.
Nice, excellent. So. From the World of Minor Threats, Firefly, issue number 1. So there's your, he's an awesome looking fly though. And then you got your cover B by David Mack, and then your 1 in 10 variant for that one there. I mean, it's fantastic. But Patton Oswalt's writing comics, and they are fun. Kill All Immortals. What'd they say? John Wick meets Succession, just with Asgardian gods, right?
Yeah. It's essentially as if the Asgardian family were immortal crime lords. And they had the world under their thumb. It's very brutal. It's thought out pretty well. It was very entertaining.
They're killing all the immortals. And then...
Well, no, it sets up vengeance against that.
Yes. Come on. Subgenre was it?
Matt Kent.
By Matt Kent. The full hardcover was this $30? Yep, get the whole thing, $30. But below that, Snyder and Panosian did Canary, and it is an amazing collection. It's $25. It is an amazing story with it's cowboy noir in the best way possible. It's really, really good. When we put our best under $20, our best under $10, we're going to be putting a best under $25 on this one because it's that good. It's fantastic. Nemesis Reloaded. Basically, Mark Millar has now moved over to Dark Horse, and this is the collection for that fully, and we'll get to more of that in a second. Dawn Runner is on issue number 4. Monsters Are My Business, also on issue number 4. Magic Order. This is volume 1. Mark Millar, like I said, bringing his business to Dark Horse. And then Carmilla, this is volume 2, I believe, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yes, it is. The end of Carmilla was just the beginning, is what the back says. But it's a beautiful, beautiful looking book.
She's a vampire.
There you go. And then next to that, 10th anniversary special for Rick and Morty. Big giant book for all of $10. But awesome Rick and Morty stuff. All new stories, fully collected. John went long on it. We got your cover A, your cover B, and then your cover C for that there.
Is that an homage?
It feels like it's an homage.
Okay. It looks like
feels
that
it's-
ASM cover,
It
look
does.
like an ASM cover, yeah.
but it's not.
But not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea what this book
It is an anthology of Brazilian inspired comic books.
Okay, bravo.
Comics inspired by Brazil and its people and mythology and livelihood.
All right. That's cool. This is also cool. I mean, Conan versus Big Giant Werewolf and Savage Sword of Conan in volume number 3. Next to that, Gun Honey's back with issue number 3.
Yes.
Your 1 in 10 variant for that there, and then your bag variant for that one
It's a
there.
nudie cover.
Yep.
why it's in
Human
a
Fly, issue number 0. John Dudas is a big fan of the Human Fly because Marvel put it out for like a dozen issues. I had one growing up, and now he's back in comics
Issue
again.
number 0.
Issue number 0. Get it now. Crocodile Black's on issue number 3. Still creepy.
Oh, I gotta read that.
Yep. And Hunger in the Dusk, book 2, number 1.
Yay,
It's
orcs.
back.
Hot Work
It's
Summer.
Hot work summer.
It's back.
Don't show. I don't know anything about that. Don't show me.
Hot Work Summer.
yeah.
Is it a
Six Gun Omnibus, volume 3.
It's
Volume 3. So
Kinda.
still good. Cult of the Lamb is on issue number 2. You got your cover A there, your cute cover B, and then cover C.
No, that's the second print.
This second print.
Second print,
This
number
one, second print of number 1. Second print of number 1. So if you missed out on the first print, here you go. Second print.
Well, we have first prints too.
We do. Gotcha Man Galactor, because Gotcha Man was a big hit for us. Now we've got Galactor. He's got his own miniseries. This is issue number 1. And then
It takes place during the events of Gotcha Man that came out last week for number 1, but from the perspective of the Galactor unification organization that's trying to take over and be evil and stuff like that. It gives you a good little background on how they're evil stuff. It's a 4-issue miniseries.
cool. Cover A, and then a 1 to 10 variant for that there. And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, 40th anniversary comic celebration. All new stories, all new stuff.
There are 11 stories in there, plus pinups, and they cover every generation of Turtles, like Saturday Morning Adventures, New Adventures, the Mirage stuff, IDW stuff from Turtle creators from the past 40 years. It's exactly what you want from an anniversary issue.
Yes. Chock-a-block full of amazingness, turtle amazingness. You got your cover A, cover B, Bisley did cover C, cover D, 1 in 25 variant for that one there, and a 1 in 10 variant, which is awesome looking as well. And then we got kid stuff.
Yeah, all ages stuff gets us to Mech Cadets, the most recent miniseries collected in paperback. Next to it, inexplicably, we have Moomin on the table. John Dudas, for some reason, loves having at least one Moomin book in the store, and we have lively conversations about what that means about him as a person and us as a store. I'm just kidding. It's pretty fun. I don't know anything about it, but it's pretty fun. It's Scandinavian.
Moving on.
Moving on to Cat Gamer. Cat Gamer Volume 5 for the cat manga lover. That's it. My Little Pony Maritime Mysteries is on number 2. We got Looney Tunes on number 279. And then next to it, or in the middle of the table, is an image book. It's one of our most honest to God recommended kids books. Like when someone has a kid between the ages of like 8 and 10 and they're like not really a reader. We always hand them Super Dinosaur. They finally put them in a big compendium. It is written by Walking Dead creator Robert Kirkman, so it has fantastic writing pedigree, and it's about a kid and his best friend who's a T-Rex, and they invent cool machines and blow stuff up and go on adventures, and it's super fun. It's simple and fun and just a good time.
We sell a truck ton of it all the time, and people come back for more because there were 4 volumes and just the easiest sell in the world. It's great.
And if you didn't notice when I was holding it up, we have fixed the T-Rex arm problem by just giving him mech arms so he can just let his little arms rest off to the side. Beautiful.
Yep.
On the table from last week, we have Narwhal's Sweet Tooth. That's a new volume there. Disney Encanto probably looks familiar because of the free comic book day primer book, but now it's a full paperback. X-Men animated series, Feared and Hated, is on the table from last week. And then we've got a new little all-ages biography story of Stan Lee. Super fun and adorable. That is our new comic week. And that's a good one. Thank you so much for joining us. Please join us for Late Night Comics on the 18th and for our Not at Comic-Con sale the last weekend of the month.
And otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow.
And otherwise, yeah.